Hello everyone and welcome back to another storytime video. And today, for my second video as part of Autism Acceptance Month, I'm going to talk about autistic jokes and how I feel about them as somebody who has autism. Now, um, back when I was a kid, um, I don't I don't think I would have found jokes about autism funny, but I don't think that I would have been particularly bothered or offended. I was a lot more self-conscious as a kid about my autism and all that stuff because I was diagnosed when I was 8, in case you guys don't know, and that was so long ago that I was diagnosed with Asperger's. Yes, a now defunct syndrome. Well, it's been defunct for quite a long time, actually, over a decade. So, um, but yeah, autism jokes and autistic jokes, which I'm gonna call this autistic jokes, but autistic jokes to me, uh, can be really funny. They can be hilarious. Um, for the most part, they are. And as an adult, I tell autistic jokes every now and then, and I do find autistic jokes funny. I think the difference now is that I am a lot more comfortable with my autism since I am an adult, and it's like, well, just because I have it, it doesn't mean that it has defined. Uh, well, I guess it does define me as a person, but what I mean to say is that I guess you're not going to walk up to me on the street and go, "You have autism," without previously knowing um, that that's the case. Um, or at least any random stranger isn't going to do that. And I have this mindset of, so what if I have autism? I am married. I have a great job. I am I'm independent when I need to be, and I'm totally self-sufficient when I can actually speak, but I'm self-sufficient. So, um in my opinion, who cares at this point um if I have autism? Um it took me years and years to even tell you guys that I have autism in the first place. So it took me until I was an adult to feel comfortable to even tell people that I know for a while. Um, just to kind of recap, I'm not going to mention that actually. I don't want to go too far off. So, autistic jokes. I think some of them are hilarious, like I mentioned. Now, one of my favorite ones that I will tell. Um, so if you hate autistic jokes or you want to get offended on somebody's behalf, just mute this next part. Autism speaks? No, it screeches. I think that's hilarious. I think that's absolutely hilarious to me. Um, which that kind of uh brings to a little bit to something else where it's like there's people who get offended for other people that or some people that don't have autism get offended for people that have autism about autistic jokes, and that's ridiculous. If you don't like an autistic joke, fine. I don't mind. Um, and it's not necessarily gatekeeped to autistic people to determine whether an autistic joke is funny, but unless you're closely related to somebody that does have autism, um, it's not your place to get offended. Um, if you don't like something, that's fine. You don't have to like autistic jokes. You don't have to like jokes about this thing or that thing or another thing. And it's always funny whenever somebody tries to say, "Oh, autistic people aren't going to find that funny," or X group isn't going to find that funny, and then a bunch of autistic people or people in that group go, "Well, that's hilarious." But anyway, so that's how I feel about autistic jokes. There's hardly any joke today that I do not like in terms of autistic jokes. Even if I don't like them because they're not funny, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't offend me. I mean, people can make jokes about whatever they want. Now, whether it's funny or not, that's a different matter. But um comedy is something that can be used to kind of lighten the mood or do whatever. And also, I feel like whenever you can't joke around about something, I feel like it puts it on that pedestal. And part of the fact, or part of the thing that I always want to do with these videos is I always kind of want to remove any negative stigma around autism and share my experiences, whether they have been as an autistic adult or as an autistic kid. I get that my experiences are not going to be the same um, as for what every autistic person experiences. Um, some autistic people, for example, are very, very shy and don't say a lot. I could talk all day if I could. Um, well, I could talk all day, honestly. Um, it drives my wife nuts sometimes, but that's another matter. Um, but yeah, so um, and I feel like whenever you do make jokes about autism or whatever, then you can start to kind of break down that negative stigma because I guess because you're not putting it on a pedestal of you can't joke around about this because it's so serious. I mean, yeah, it does impact people's lives and all that, but at the end of the day, I'm human and somebody who doesn't have autism is just as human as I am. And that is not the only thing that is different between the two of us. Um, I mean, there's plenty of other things that are different um, between two other people besides whether somebody has autism or not. And it's like just because somebody has autism doesn't mean that they struggle or that their life is horrible or whatever. Um, their life is just different. It's just different. It's not horrible necessarily. It's just different. It's just different, man. So, um, I love autistic jokes, and so yeah. Leave your favorite autistic jokes down in the comments, and if I laugh at them, then I will heart your comment. Cause there's a lot of funny ones out there, but that autism speaks? No, it screeches. Is like the funniest one. And then another funny one is I'm uh artistic in terms of joking around. The play on words like autistic but artistic. Yeah, that it kind of doesn't make a lot of sense, but in context it does. But yeah, I one day I looked up a list of just autistic jokes. And I'm not going to do that for you guys today um because I don't want you guys to have to watch me for like 2 minutes scroll on my phone. Um, but yeah, leave your favorite autistic jokes down in the comments, and if I laugh at it, then I will heart your comment. Um, and who knows? Maybe the best one will get pinned. So, but yeah. Um, Lesson to be learned. Um, Well, autism isn't necessarily a joking matter, but autism shouldn't be taken so deathly serious that you can't even make jokes about it. And the second thing is, unless you're like closely related to somebody with autism or whatnot, unless you have autism or you're closely related to somebody with autism, then uh, don't get offended for somebody else. Because you don't have it and you're not closely related to somebody, so it's not your place to get offended whenever you don't like a joke or you don't think it's funny. Just say it's not funny. But yeah, I don't mean to go on a rant about that, but that actually irritates me whenever I see somebody that's like, "Oh, I'm neither of these things or none of or not like this, but I'm offended for people like that." Like, we're not asking for you to be offended. We don't even care if you're offended. We don't care. Sorry. All right. Well, and see us, guys. I do believe that will do it for this storytime video and Slank storytime video. I will see you later. Goodbye, guys. Thank you all for watching.